Hail. I hope all is well with you and yours. These rune videos that I'm sharing, they come from my own reflection on working with the runes over the years and just how they've helped me to focus on certain qualities, certain energies, certain things in my life to invite them or to eliminate. And so while I'm not pretending like there's some like ancient, authentic school of thought when it comes to working with the runes in a healing manner, or inscribing some mystical power within the shape of the rune itself, this letter basically representing a sound, and in the Scandinavian culture is also a concept or a word. But even so, to me, the runes are magical in the way that they have helped me to invite energy and bring change in my life and to give me a little bit more control, because they became to me magical. They became a path of self-development and growth and healing. And so as I'm going through these videos, it's me really just reflecting on the years that I've worked with the runes, which is over 10 now, and just looking at it from the lens of, what kind of healing was I going through at that time? What was going on when I was working with the different runes or a combination thereof? And so getting to today's video, working with Ehwaz. For me, one of the ways of connecting with the runes, of course, is to get to the rune poems, of course, but also the concepts, right? Like Ehwaz is horse. And so what did the horse represent to my northern ancestors, right? And so those are questions that encourages me to do some research. And so then I learn a little bit more of, not only is Ehwaz representing horse, the physical entity, but it represents all that horse, everything from being a psychopomp to being for working on the farm, to battle, to games, to representing, how long the land that I own is like how far the horse can travel in a day, and so much more, right? Because there's so many mystical and powerful horses in the Eddas and the sagas, and so it's a rabbit hole just to study about horses. So in my rune yoga, for me, working with Ehwaz is always, in a nutshell, it's like getting off my ass and doing something. It motivates me. It gives me the energy and the drive and the desire to do what needs to be done, or to be creative, or do some chore. It's like this force that helps to push me through that resistance or whatever obstacles or excuses that I might have. And so when that comes to healing, of course, like in my life, I've known for 20 plus years that I'm diabetic, but I haven't wanted to deal with it, to acknowledge it, and to address it by doing the changes that needed to be done to, it's ridiculous. I agree the fact that I would know that something's wrong with myself for so long, and I wouldn't actively choose to, I wouldn't actively address it. And, of course I have a crazy amount of excuses, and I'm I'm already overwhelmed with all the stuff that I've been doing over the years. So yeah, whatever. But it's something like I've known that I am a diabetic, and I know the things that I need to do to address it, but I hadn't actively done anything about that. And it was only until 2025 when I got an ulcer on my big toe, and it's I was taking care of wounds like I always take care of it, but it wasn't getting better, and in fact it was getting deeper and deeper. And so then all of a sudden I had this fear that I was going to lose my toe or my foot, and so it just finally became time, right? And so at that point, that is a time when I've utilized Ehwaz to help me, to address to address and overcome the resistance, and in doing so, discover areas, fears and blocks and traumas and a bunch of other shit that was intertwined with this resistance to address my physical ailments, or to address diabetes in general. So that's an example of me working with Ehwaz. And when I say working with, it would be like I have runic power objects. So for Ehwaz, I made a necklace out of horsetail hair, with a horse that I was connected with for a small bit of time. So I'll put that on just to have with me all the times, because I associate some of the qualities I associate with Ehwaz and connect with it, right? Like I've literally associate and connect with Ehwaz is that sense of getting on the horse and getting shit done. Like, it's like that. So just by putting on this necklace, having these objects that I connect with certain aspects of a rune around me helps to bring my mind, helps bring my energy in line with that, right? And then also, sitting and meditating, or doing an actual ritual, like setting aside some time and space, clearing it up, and inviting supportive energies, and oftentimes my ancestors or just the land spirits, and then like bringing that energy, bringing Ehwaz into it, so that like it gives me the drive and it gives me the will. Well, not so much the will, but it works with the will in a sense, like to support it and to accomplish the aims. But for me, it's more about the energy, like that extra bit of energy that helps me get over the hump, or my excuses, or whatever it is. And so then I went to the doctor, got diagnosed. My A1C was 12.4. And so there it is. Like, all right, now it's official. And so for me, when it comes to doing anything, like once I like get into it, I'm all in. And so started exercising, started stretching, started cardio, weightlifting, what else? Changing my diet, regulating my sleep. I was just all in. Started doing running, which I just turned 50 in 2025, and I probably haven't done anything like that, and I can't even think the last time. Definitely over a decade ago. So I'm all in, and so this is where I learned something new last year with working with Ehwaz. As when I went all in on what I was doing and lost 30 pounds in about 6 months, and lots of things were improving, but I ended up hurting myself really bad, like doing some nerve damage that just caused like excruciating pain in my leg. Like I wasn't sleeping for weeks. Like I was very delirious and yeah, and in pain. And so yeah, so as I've been meditating on Ehwaz and just thinking about that, one of the lessons that I've learned, and it actually in the Havamal, there's an interesting quote. I don't remember the stanza. I'll put it up on the video. But it talks about, you know, a young and untrained or overly swift horse is, you know, you don't trust those because they end up breaking their leg on slippery ice or on rough terrain. And so that made me think about when it comes to healing, sometimes, especially things that have been like very chronic, like they've been going on for a long time. Sometimes, and definitely in my case, I did too much too quick, and it ended up, I mean, even now I'm still feeling like I'm still having nerve damage in my leg because of all that like exercising. I was standing at my desk now for 8 hours or, you know, however long, maybe not 8 hours, but I was standing for like a good like 5 to 6 hours a night instead of just sitting in the chair like I usually do, because I work in crisis, so I just sit at a phone and try to help people. Yeah, so sometimes in healing, like taking things gradually is important towards the healing. You know, sometimes forcing things, which I would tend to do. Like I'm like, just attack whatever it is, hit it with a bunch of herbs and whatever is needed, and or sweat it out. Like that's another method I use. Is just hardcore go at it. But sometimes in healing, it's important to go slow, like the old slow and steady wins the race. So, all right. Until next video, I wish you well. Be well and be blessed.